If you're anything like me, sometimes the endless grind of multiplayer games just wears you out. That's when I crave something different, a story-driven world I can really sink into. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Here are 15 single-player games that are absolutely worth your time and money. Let's jump in. Little Nightmares. Imagine being 6 inches tall in a world built by Tim Burton's weirdest dreams. Little Nightmares is a puzzle platformer set on a grotesque vessel called the Maw. You play as a tiny raincoat-clad escapee, scurrying through giant kitchens and bedrooms where everything seems hungry. There's no combat. Instead, you hide under tables and skulk through shadows, constantly feeling powerless. That lack of power is the point. The hide-and-seek tension builds dread with every creak and grotesque chew. It's short, haunting, and doesn't outstay its welcome. Personally, I loved its commitment to atmosphere. Each grotesque scene is like walking through a darkly funny nightmare. This is a game for people who enjoy being creeped out while solving clever environmental puzzles. Sit with those feelings. It's worth it, even if you sleep with the lights on. Mafia Definitive Edition. Take a trip back to the smoky speakeasies and cobblestone streets of 1930s Lost Heaven. Mafia Definitive Edition revives the Prohibition-era crime saga with modern visuals and expanded gameplay. You're Tommy Angelo, a straight-laced taxi driver who tumbles into a turf war between rival crime families. It's a dramatic rise and fall tale wrapped in a faithful remake of the 2002 classic. Picture Scorsese meets GTA without the bloat. Cruise the city, get into chases, and yes, there's an optional free ride mode for aimless joyrides through an authentic 1930s America. The gunfights feel weighty, the cutscenes are gorgeously shot, and the story hits like a good Mafia film. My take? It's the remake this cult classic deserved. Cinematic, melancholy, and perfect for a weekend binge.
There! Can't kill all of us!
Sifu. Ever wanted to channel your inner martial arts movie hero? Sifu from Slow Clap gives you that wish, at a price. You play the child of a murdered kung fu master on a revenge quest armed with a magical talisman that resurrects you after each death, but you age every time. Age ups your strength and limits your health, so your avatar physically carries your mistakes. Combat is a masterclass in timing. Over 150 unique attacks, parries, dodges, and environmental interactions, from hurling bottles to vaulting over tables. Shrines let you heal and permanently unlock skills for future runs, and secrets reveal shortcuts if you pay attention. Sifu is brutally hard but incredibly rewarding. Every successful parry feels like a small victory. My advice? Embrace the beatdown. It's less about beating the game and more about mastering yourself, and maybe busting some sweet moves along the way. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Fancy saving the galaxy 3 times over? Mass Effect Legendary Edition bundles BioWare's beloved space opera trilogy, remastered with sharper visuals and smoother combat. You are Commander Shepard, a customizable hero whose gender, background, and decisions ripple across the trilogy. Recruit alien allies, chat up your crew, and decide whether to punch a reporter or hug an alien. The first game benefits from improved aiming and rebalanced weapons, so even the old Mako, the series' infamous space SUV, feels less like driving a fridge downhill. Every major DLC is included, and your choices carry weight. Your relationships and moral decisions can haunt or help you in later games. As someone who's replayed this saga multiple times, I can't overstate its emotional heft. This compilation is perfect if you crave an epic narrative with real consequences and want to romance aliens while you're at it.
I am sovereign, and this station is mine.
Dragon's Dogma 2. Capcom's Dragon's Dogma 2 drops you into a sprawling fantasy world 4 times larger than the original. You're the Arisen, a customizable hero hunting down a dragon that literally stole your heart while nations bicker around you. But you never travel alone. AI companions called pawns fight beside you, offering advice and sometimes hilarious commentary. You can customize your own pawn and recruit 2 more from other players. The world itself is wild. Day-night cycles, emergent monster attacks, destructible structures, and campfires to rest at make it feel alive. My favorite part? Being toppled from a cliff by a griffin while my pawn screams unhelpful advice. It's messy, fun, and wonderfully unpredictable. Exactly what high fantasy adventures should be.
Is it the snake?
Stellar Blade. Shift Up's Stellar Blade invites you to reclaim a ruined Earth from grotesque invaders. You play Eve, an elite soldier from humanity's last colony, sent back to fend off alien creatures called Natibus. Picture Nier Automata with a bit more attitude. Combat revolves around reading enemy attack patterns and countering with perfectly timed parries, building up a beta gauge for flashy skills and a burst gauge for devastating finishers. Exploration includes wall running, rope swinging, and scavenging for upgrades, and NPCs dish out side quests that reward costumes and other goodies. The PS5's haptics make every blade clash sing. Underneath its stylish action is a story about forging bonds with other survivors, and those relationships shape your journey. It's one of those games where you're grinning like an action hero, A Plague Tale Requiem. 14th century France never looked so bleak. A Plague Tale Requiem follows siblings Amicia and Hugo as they search for a cure to Hugo's mysterious illness while evading Inquisition soldiers and swarms of plague-spreading rats. The sequel amps up everything. Larger environments, more nuanced stealth, and an expanded arsenal including knives, a sling, and a crossbow. You can mix alchemical concoctions like tar to manipulate fire and light. The stealth system now lets Amicia survive hits and slip back into the shadows, while Hugo can use his echo to detect enemies and even control rats. A progression system rewards whichever playstyle you lean toward, and workbenches let you upgrade gear. My take? This sequel delivers on its promise of grim beauty. It's harrowing yet hopeful, perfect for those who like their stealth with a side of emotional gut punch.
Come to me! Give us your blood! Too close! They're far too close!
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Pack your bags for Honolulu and Yokohama. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is a vacation you won't forget. Ichiban Kasuga and series legend Kazuma Kiryu share the spotlight, teaming up to locate Kasuga's long-lost mother while navigating Hawaiian gangs and Japanese underworld players. Combat keeps the turn-based live command RPG system but adds free movement, letting you reposition characters for strategic advantages and chain special tag team attacks via a hype meter. Jobs classes are wildly diverse. Want to fight as an Aquanaut or Pyrodancer? Go for it. Off the beaten path, you can manage a resort on Dondoko Island, deliver packages, or tackle Kiryu's bucket list side stories. It's goofy, heartfelt, and surprisingly deep. If you love Yakuza-style melodrama mixed with slapstick minigames, this one's a tropical delight. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. What if your ghost hunting partner suddenly became a ghost? Banishers Ghosts of New Eden by Don't Nod explores that dilemma. Set in a haunted colonial settlement, you control Red Mac Wraith and Antea Duarte, a team of Banisher spirit hunters investigating supernatural disturbances. Early on, Antea's spirit is torn from her body, forcing you to fight using Red's traditional weapons and Antea's otherworldly abilities. Combat is deliberate. You swap between flesh and spirit to exploit enemy weaknesses. choices. Choices matter too. Decisions about saving townsfolk or easing spirits shape the story's outcome. The atmosphere feels like The Witcher meets Ghostbusters, with plenty of moral gray areas. I appreciate its willingness to tackle love, death, and duty without being melodramatic. It's a melancholy, action-heavy ghost story that lingers long after the credits roll.
Behold my wrath! They looked us up!
Banishers, I went last time.
What? How do you tell? Oh, take down, forget the face!
Gears 5, chainsaws, exploding heads, and sled rides. Gears 5 shakes up the series' quarter shooter formula by adding open hub areas you traverse on a wind-powered skiff. Kate Diaz is front and center, following visions that link her to the Locust Horde and Queen Mira. You still carry a Lancer assault rifle, but now you can explore optional side quests. Upgrade your robot companion Jack with cloaking, scanning, and shield abilities. 3-player co-op exists online or locally, and escape mode offers a frantic challenge of infiltrating and destroying hives. Horde and traditional versus modes round out the multiplayer. Personally, I enjoyed Kate's story. It humanizes the bombastic action, and the semi-open world gives you room to breathe between firefights. If you're craving chunky sci-fi gunplay with unexpected depth, this one's for you.
It's coming down!
Look out! Look out! You gotta be joking! Shoot the charge!
Carmine! When can we use...
Dead Space Remake. Return to the USG Ishimura, where necromorphs stalk dark corridors and the air tastes like rust. Motive Studios' Dead Space Remake rebuilds the 2008 survival horror classic using the Frostbite engine. You're still Isaac Clarke, a weary engineer fighting monstrosities while grappling with psychosis, but the atmosphere has been dialed up considerably. The new Intensity director orchestrates over 1,000 possible events, flickering lights, sudden fog bursts, and unexpected necromorph spawns. It dynamically paces scares, ensuring tension builds then releases before you can exhale. Lighting and audio improvements make every shadow suspect. There's still dismemberment and zero-gravity puzzles, but the remake focuses on immersion rather than gimmicky changes. It's both a faithful homage and a fresh nightmare. If you missed the original, this is the definitive way to experience one of horror gaming's greats. Shadow of the Colossus. Few games marry simplicity and awe like Shadow of the Colossus. You're Wander, a lone rider who ventures into an uninhabited forbidden land to revive a girl named Mono. Your task sounds straightforward. Locate and slay 16 towering colossi, each a living puzzle in a desolate open world. Armed only with a sword that guides you with beams of light and a trusty horse named Agro, you wander sun-splashed plains, crumbling temples and windswept deserts. Climbing each creature, gripping fur as they shake violently, is exhilarating and strangely melancholic. There are no smaller enemies, just quiet moments punctuated by colossal battles. To me, this is gaming as minimalistic art, lonely, contemplative, and unforgettable. By the way, if you've been enjoying the list so far, consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps more than you think, and it makes sure you don't miss the next round of epic single-player recommendations. Alright, now let's dive into the final 3 games. And trust me, they're absolute bangers. Horizon Forbidden West. Guerrilla Games' Horizon Forbidden West expands Aloy's story into a lush, post-apocalyptic western United States. Machines roam like metallic wildlife. Combat blends archery, traps, and a spear with new tools like the Shredder Gauntlet and Ropecaster. You can tag enemies with Aloy's focus to scan weaknesses and tear off components for advantages. Skill trees let you specialize. Sneaky Infiltrator, Trap Master, Melee Brawler, etc. Exploration is generous. There are guided and minimalist modes, sunken ruins for underwater exploration, and tall necks to climb for map reveals. Side activities include rebel camps, hunting contracts, fight pits, and cauldrons full of platforming and boss fights. With its vibrant biomes and deeper melee combat, Forbidden West feels like a thoughtful iteration rather than a reinvention. It's a world you'll want to get lost in.
Oh, that thing's fast.
Ghost of Tsushima. Slip into feudal Japan during the Mongol invasion. Ghost of Tsushima lets you roam a beautifully rendered Tsushima island on foot or horseback. As Samurai Jin Sakai, you can charge head-on into standoffs with your katana or embrace stealth with a tanto and ghost weapons. Combat revolves around stances tailored to enemy types, and parries, arrows, and duels keep encounters varied. If the samurai way isn't working, you can slip away, chain silent assassinations, toss smoke bombs, and unleash ghost stance for terrifying one-hit kills. Exploration is guided by the wind. Yellow birds and foxes lead you to hot springs for extra health, bamboo strikes for resolve, haiku spots and shrines that grant charms. The world is vast yet intimate, inspired by samurai cinema and actual Tsushima geography. It's like stepping into a moving painting, one that occasionally demands you chop someone's head off.
我が名は酒井仁。この島を荒らす遺敵に天誅を与える者。己の血で畑を潤せ。すぐに対馬を去れば情けをかけてやる。
Black Myth Wukong. Sun Wukong is out, and if you haven't yet stepped into this mythic action RPG, now is the time. Black Myth Wukong, developed by Game Science, released August 20th, 2024 on PlayStation 5 and PC, followed by the Xbox Series XOS launch exactly 1 year later in August 2025. It's inspired by Journey to the West, with you playing the Destined One, a staff-wielding monkey who fights through folklore, boss spectacles, and stances that let you smash, surge, and launch in combat. Visually, it's breathtaking. Unreal Engine 5 at its best. Cinematic boss battles, lush mythology, and environments that feel alive. Combat is responsive and punishing with stamina management, dodge timing, and skill trees that reward practice. Downsides? Some level layouts repeat, enemy variety isn't always fresh, and a few navigational tools could be better. But recent patches, especially for the Xbox version, fixed major visual bugs, looking at you, lighting glitches, and improved stability across platforms. For me, Wukong isn't just hype, it's a complete single-player RPG journey worthy of your shelf. If you're craving myth, challenge, and spectacle, this one earns its price. That's our lineup of single-player gems. Whether you're chasing Colossi, slashing Mongols, or having a karaoke showdown in Honolulu, each of these games offers a world worth exploring. Drop a comment with your favorite, or tell me which game you'd add to the list. Likes and subscriptions help keep these deep dive videos coming. And if you want more, I've got plenty of gaming stories up my sleeve. Stay curious.